Hello everyone. In this video, we cover the topic the CIA coup that changed Iran forever. The coup that happened in 1953. I wish to begin it now. In 1953, a secret operation carried out by intelligence agencies changed the course of Iran's history. The event was a coup that removed Iran's democratically elected prime minister and strengthened the rule of the Shah. The operation was secretly organized by the United States and the United Kingdom, and it became known as Operation Ajax. More than 70 years later, the consequences of this operation continued to shape relations between Iran and the West. To understand modern tensions in the Middle East, we must go back to the events of 1953. In the early 20th century, Iran possessed one of the world's most valuable natural resources, oil. However, much of Iran's oil industry was controlled by British company called the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, which later became the part of British Petroleum. Many Iranians believe that their country was receiving only a small share of the profits from its own resources. In 1951, Iran's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh decided to change that. Mossadegh pushed for the nationalization of Iran's oil industry, meaning that Iran would take control of its oil from foreign companies. The decision made him extremely popular inside Iran, but it also created a major crisis with Britain. After Iran nationalized its oil industry, Britain responded with strong economic pressure. The British government organized a global boycott of Iranian oil and tried to isolate Iran economically. The crisis became known as the Abadan crisis, named after the world's largest oil refinery located in southern Iran. As Iran's economy struggled under sanctions, political tensions inside the country began to grow. At the same time, the Cold War was intensifying. Western governments feared that instability in Iran could allow communist groups to gain influence. These concerns eventually led Britain to seek help from the United States. In 1953, British intelligence and the United States Central Intelligence Agency began planning a secret operation to remove Mossadegh from top power. The plan was code-named Operation Ajax. The strategy involved propaganda campaigns, political pressures, organizing street protests against Mossadegh's government. CIA operatives work with Iranian military officers and royalist supporters of the Shah. Money was secretly distributed to political groups, newspapers, and influential figures to weaken Mossadegh's support and influence figures to weaken Mossadegh's support. Money was secretly distributed to political groups, newspapers, and influential figures to weaken Mossadegh's support. The goal was simple: remove the prime minister and strengthen the authority of the Shah. The coup unfolded between 15 and 19 August in 1953 in Tehran. At first, the plan nearly failed. Mossadegh learned about the plot and attempted to resist, but soon large demonstrations erupted in the streets of Tehran. Royalist forces, backed by parts of the Iranian military, moved against Mossadegh's supporters. After days of unrest and violence, the prime minister was finally overthrown on 19 August 1953. Mossadegh was arrested and later placed under house arrest. General Fazlollah Jahedi was installed as the new prime minister, and the Shah, who had briefly fled the country, returned to the power. The coup had immediate consequences of Iran's political system. The Shah's authority increased dramatically, and Iran gradually became a strongly pro-Western monarchy. The new government restored cooperation with Western oil companies and strengthened ties with the United States. For Washington and London, the operation was considered a strategic success. But inside Iran, many people saw the coup as foreign interference in the country's sovereignty. Over time, resentment towards Western involvement in Iranian politics continued to grow. The legacy of the 1953 coup extended far beyond the Cold War. Many historians believe the event played an important role in shaping Iranian attitude towards United States and Britain. Decades later, the growing dissatisfaction with the Shah's rule contributed to another major event in Iranian history, the 1979 Iranian Revolution. That revolution replaced the monarchy with the Islamic Republic that governs Iran today. In this way, the events of 1953 became one of the most significant turning points in modern Middle Eastern history. The 1953 coup was more than just a political operation. It was a moment when oil, geopolitics, and Cold War rivalries collided in single country, and its consequences continue to influence global politics even today. So that was our topic covered in this video, the CIA coup that changed Iran forever, that happened in 1953. Thank you for tuning in with us. We come back with more topics like this.